welcome to the Filofox podcast with me, Rebecca, your personal organiser and declutter coach. Hello and welcome to episode 1 of the Filofox podcast. My name is Rebecca, and over the next few weeks, months and possibly years, I'm sharing with you my perspective, opinions and solutions around the subject of decluttering, personal organisation and tidying. I'm not going to be doing this alone. You'll be pleased to know you won't be hearing just my voice every week. I'll have some guest speakers, including my clients, other professionals, interior designers, furniture makers, solutions to storage, coaches, an abundance of people that come from many walks of life within these subjects. We're going to be exploring the journeys of feeling overwhelmed, out of control, and some of the tools that we can offer you to adopt in your life to help you reset your lives, really, in a sense of your environment, where you work, and mentally, because emotional impact of lots of things in life really have a profound effect on how you live from day to day. Firstly, I thought I'd introduce myself and where I'm coming from and how I became a personal organiser and declutter coach. It's been quite a long journey because I'm in my 50s now, and basically I've been tidying, decluttering, sorting, all of those things since I was 5 years old. I know, 5 you say. Well, I was brought up with parents who had been brought up themselves in an environment where you mucked in and you helped out. So from 5 years old, as soon as I could reach the first level of the ironing board, I was ironing socks and flannels and towels just to get used to the heat of the iron. And oh yes, I got a few burns from learning, as we all do probably. And then I was learning how to iron shirts. The weird thing was, I was ironing shirts how they came in the packet, because that's how my dad liked them. He didn't hang his shirts, he put them in the drawer as they come in the packet, all folded up with their collars standing upright. Some of the things I was asked to do were sometimes under duress, because as you can imagine, I just wanted to go and do my own thing and play and everything. But looking back, I'm really grateful for those challenges because they've made me who I am today. Going through the teenage years, I continued with my decluttering, and when I was just around about 10 or 11, there was this programme called Little House on the Prairie. I don't know whether you're old enough to remember that. And I really loved it, but it was on at a certain time in the afternoon, which meant that if I ran fast enough from school, got in, did all my jobs, I could watch it before my parents came home from work. It was quite funny because I became a good long distance runner, and that was from the consistent incremental training that happened every school day. And I always say that to my client: consistent incremental activity leads to long-term gain, whatever that might be for you. I then moved away, quite far away from my parents, and raised my 4 now grown-up children around the country and abroad, and doing little bits of jobs that fitted in with them. And that gave me the experience of meeting lots of different people from all walks of life, but also gave me an opportunity to learn how to pack effectively between many, many moves over those number of years. That's one of the things we'll be covering in a podcast in the future. Moving can be so stressful, but it's all about the planning. A little bit like decorating. It is about 80% planning and 20% decorating. And that applies to a lot of things in this journey. After that, bringing up my family, I've worked in customer service related jobs on the main. And my last job was customer relations manager for a digital media company, and they'd developed a product which helped the elderly in the digital world. I was really passionate about that, and I loved meeting people from all walks of life and going into their homes and discussing this new innovative product. Unfortunately, that job came to an end as I was made redundant due to some changes in the political climate. I was really sad about that redundancy, I think, as most people are, but I was very passionate about that product, so it was a bit of a sting. But what I did was I actually gave myself a time frame to be sad about it, to mourn it. I think that's really important when you lose anything. It's not always easy to do that time frame, but in certain aspects of life you can do it, and this was one of them. On the 1st of October 2017, I decided that I was going to run my own business, the second time for me, but this was going to be based around helping other businesses, other small businesses who were really struggling with the overwhelming feelings of setting up particularly and getting all those nitty-gritty things done, which actually sometimes pulls you away from concentrating on your income-producing activity. I couldn't believe it. In the first couple of weeks, I had 2 or 3 phone calls around this and I was off. I was helping people where they needed help so they could concentrate on making money and getting their business off the ground. From this came a social media network group that I joined called the Inspire Network. And there was a lady on there who said to me, "Can you come and see me? Because I need somebody to help me with my business." And that kept happening over and over again on this particular network. And then came the call from a doctor in the area who said, "Do you help people in their homes?" Well, I did a Richard Branson and said, "Yes, I do." And then thought, do I? Of course I do. I've been doing this since I was 5 years old. My career, my home life, moving around, my school life had all got me to this point where I'd been doing this personal organisation and decluttering for 49 years. Yes, I do it. And that's where the decluttering and personal organisation came about in homes. And from there, I have developed my business around the homes and business, but mainly homes. We will be touching on the business side of things intermittently, but I'd like to focus around the homes a lot more because I think you'd find that probably a bit more relatable. And when our homes are in order and organised and decluttered, we feel more in control of everything else in our life. So if we are running our own business or are in a time-short job, then we will feel more organised in that. Filofox was born after working with many people in their homes. And the reason was a joke that was made one day by my fiancé who said, "You're my little Filofox," because he calls me Foxy Lady and I help him with his administration, customer service and sometimes his filming. And I thought, Filofox sounds much better than RDW Consultancy and a lot more fun. And it is fun. It can be fun. It's hard work sometimes doing this, but it's ultimately fun. And the freedom you feel after you've organised a space in your environment is so good. As a result of being called Filofox though, I have received so many images, gifts. I've got a Foxy Corner. My office is actually called the Foxy Corner now because people have sent me, and it's a good brand. It's a brand that's working, so I'm really happy about that. That's a little bit about me and my journey to being a personal organiser and declutter coach for my business Filofox. And I'm really excited to be sharing with you some fabulous tools, some challenges, people's experiences, my experiences around this subject, because I think in the life that we are all leading now, we have been busy, and we are, even me, overwhelmed at times with all the planning. Sometimes something comes along that you don't expect, and it's very hard dealing with it if your cup is already full. But if you can be in control to a degree within your environment, in both work and home, you're better able to deal with those unexpected events. Thank you for listening to my introduction. As I say, I'm really excited to be sharing this journey with you, and It's a first for me. I'm sure that it will organically grow. It may even change its format, but for now, this is what it is, and I am excited to be exploring the podcast world with you, my listeners. But for now, I'd like to thank Becky Owen, singer-songwriter extraordinaire in the northeast of England, who has written my introductory music. Thank you so much, Becky. And I'd also like to thank Jason Thompson of Sound Ideas Media, who will be editing most of these podcasts over the next few weeks and months. But he's told me that he's going to show me how to do it so I can independently do it if I need to when he's not around. So thank you, Jason, for that. I look forward to being here for episode 2. Any social media links will be posted into the show notes. I can be found on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. And as I said, the details will be on the notes within this podcast. Finally, please do get in touch with any questions that you have, because I will be devoting 10 minutes to answering those questions for each podcast that is released. Have a great couple of weeks and see you again soon. Thank you and goodbye.